بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. السلام علیکم جی. میں ہوں ناصر قیوم, رائٹ اینگل کے ایک اور پروگرام کے ساتھ, ایک اور ایپیسوڈ کے ساتھ. کووڈ-19, جی ہاں, یہ وہ ڈپریسنگ موضوع ہے کہ جس پہ ہمیں انفارچونیٹلی آج بات کرنی پڑے گی. اس کے حوالے سے ہم نے کل ایک پروگرام ریکارڈ کروایا تھا, کیونکہ اس وقت اسی ایک موضوع نے دنیا کو اپنی لپیٹ میں لے رکھا ہے اور اس کے بہت سارے اینگلز ہیں جس کو کور کرنا بڑا ضروری ہے ہمارے لیے. آج جو رائٹ اینگل کا پروگرام ہے, ہم اس میں ایک بہت ہی اہم موضوع کو اور بڑے سینسٹیو ایشو کو چھیڑنے لگے ہیں, جو کہ ہم نہیں چاہتے کہ کسی کے کسی کو کوئی پرابلم ہو سے. تو اس لیے ہم نے جن صاحب کے حوالے سے ہم یہ پروگرام کریں وہ ہمارے ساتھ موجود ہیں. میں ان کا بھی تعارف کرواؤں گا آپ سے. ناظرین, جب کبھی کسی کے گھر میں موت آتی ہے تو ویسے ہی انسان کے اوپر پہاڑ کا ایک مشکل کا ایک پہاڑ مطلب اس کے اوپر آن گرتا ہے. اور کووڈ-19 میں خصوصی طور پہ جب ہمارے جو دیار غیر میں لوگ تھے ان کو اتنا ایکسپیرینس بھی نہیں تھا کہ اس طرح کی پریشانی کا. اور دوسرا مطلب اس سیریس جو معاملہ ہے جس میں اتنی ڈیتھس ہوگی, 75,000 لوگ یہاں پہ امریکہ میں اس کے شکار بن چکے ہیں کورونا وائرس کے. سینکڑوں جو ہے ہمارے پاکستانی, ہزاروں ہمارے مسلمان بھائی جو ہے اس میں وفات پا چکے ہیں. اس نے پوری انسانیت کو دبوچ کے رکھا ہوا ہے. پوری دنیا بالکل الٹ پلٹ کے رہ گئی ہے. اس مشکل کی گھڑی میں جو فیونرل ہومز ہیں ان کا بڑا ایک امپورٹنٹ کردار ہے. ناظرین, آپ کو جیسے پتہ ہوگا, جو اس میں سے گزرا ہوگا بیچارہ اسی کو پتہ ہوگا کہ کتنا کیاٹک سچویشن تھی جب یہ کرونا وائرس جو ہے وہ اسٹارٹ ہوا. اور اس میں کچھ لوگوں نے خوف خدا کر کے اس جذبے کے تحت تدفین کی, اپنے کام کو سر انجام دیا اور ایسے کیا کہ اپنی جان کی پرواہ بھی نہیں کی. لیکن وہیں پہ کچھ لوگ ایسے بھی ہیں جن کے بارے میں کہا جاتا ہے, الزام ہے مبینہ طور پہ, اللیجڈلی ہم اس کو کہہ سکتے ہیں کہ انہوں نے کچھ پیسے بھی بنائے سے, لوگ کہتے ہیں. اس میں ہم آپ کو یہ بتا سکتے ہیں کہ جیسے ہمارے ساتھ آج صاحب موجود ہیں, انہوں نے جو ہے وہ ان سے ہم خود ہی بات کر لیتے ہیں. زیادہ بہتر ہے کہ ہم پروگرام سے پہلے اس میں کچھ ایڈ نہ کریں یا کچھ ایسی چیز نہ بتائیں آپ کو کہ جس کے بعد وہ کنٹراڈکٹ کریں اور اس کے بعد ہم اس کو میں چاہتا ہوں کہ وہ جب سنس ہی از دیئر تو وہ خود ہی اس کے اوپر جو ہے وہ بات کریں. ہمارے ساتھ موجود ہیں آج نور الدین ابو ابراہیم. یہ جنازہ پروجیکٹ کے روح رواں ہیں اور آج ہمارے ساتھ اس پروگرام میں ایکسکلوسیولی موجود ہیں. ہم ان سے بات کریں گے. تھینک یو بردر ڈاکٹر, تھینک یو بردر نور الدین for joining us. Brother Nuruddin, you've been involved in a very noble cause, by the way, especially during the COVID-19 this outbreak. But there are some questions need to be asked about the funeral services. That was I was explaining in my intro that because of the chaotic situation in the beginning when this corona came in to America, I mean, and then the deaths start happening, in such big numbers. They were a very, very chaotic situation, and there are a lot of people who were involved in this. Funeral homes were first responders, and you guys did a great job. But there are some questions. There are some people are raising some eyebrows now. The reason behind this raising eyebrows or the concerns are, as I mentioned earlier with you, and I was speaking to you or chit-chatting with you, that how these funds were generated by the different funeral homes or the brothers and sisters. They helped the other brothers and sisters for their burial process, because this is our main topic and main focus for the program tonight. So thank you so very much. I will to joining me, Nuruddin Abu Ibrahim. And I will straight come into the question. My first question to you is, Brother Ibrahim, Abu Ibrahim. I'm sorry. I can call you Abu Ibrahim, or I can call you.
You call me Nuruddin Abu Ibrahim. By you call me anything.
Yeah,
you
a lot
like
of people they know you by Nuruddin. So my first question, tell me about Janaza Project, what it does.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The Janaza Project is actually a non-profit organization. So you have two parts. You have the Muslim Funeral Service, which is a licensed, registered funeral home in the state of New York. And we do services for the tri-state area. And we also assist brothers and sisters when it comes to shipping internationally. And we also assist individuals nationally. That's Muslim Funeral Services of New York. It's a licensed, registered funeral home. The Janaza Project is actually a non-profit organization which assists in certain parts which are non-required for a license, meaning to wash and shroud a dead body. We have many Muslim brothers and sisters who are part of Janazah Project that do ghusl and kafan. When it comes to education seminars, when it comes to going to the qabristan and basically teaching people how to do, what to do, when to do, things like that. And also when it comes to raising funds for those who don't have the means to take care of a janazah, the Janazah Project takes care of that side. So you have two sides: funeral home side, Muslim funeral service; Janazah Project, nonprofit organization, which assists in education, financial, and other things that if the community needs, we will provide for them, inshallah.
And as I understood that you have a funeral home, right?
That's correct. Muslim Funeral Services of New York, which is located on 52nd Street and 2nd Avenue in Brooklyn.
And that is like a legit business registered with the state and in New York City, right?
That is correct.
Perfect. All right, let's move forward. How much do you think? I mean, what kind of issues you faced when this happened? I mean, I know there was the chaotic scenes. There were pictures and the videos of the funeral homes. The bodies were lying on the floor, and the refrigerators were filled with the bodies. And you guys were needing more refrigerators because there were so many bodies were coming in. How this thing was going on? I mean, how do you think when you were on the ground, obviously? So, what do you think the scenes were like?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So typically every year before this year, we do approximately 1 janazah per day, 7 per week, approximately 30 per month. That's almost 360 per year. That's average. In the month of April, we did over 350 just in the month of April.
What? Excuse me. Hold on.
In the month of April, we've done
300.
over
Only your funeral home.
350. Only my funeral home. 350.
Wow.
Now, and that 350 is recorded on our system. We have a database. Now, that database is not including some families that are very poor in English, very untech savvy, and we have to take things by hand, and we have to do things like that. So we've done very close to, I would say, 400 funeral services. But nonetheless, Nasir Bhai, we used to have 2 refrigerations inside of the funeral home. Each fridge used to hold 3 bodies. 6 bodies was sufficient. We had to go to our neighboring funeral services that we have in Almont and in New Jersey. We took out our fridges from there and we put them all inside of this one funeral home. So now we had the capacity of 4 refrigerators, 12 bodies. Even that was not enough. Unlike other funeral homes that had bodies lying on the ground, we would not accept that. We would make sure that each and every person was prepared and placed inside of the fridge. And when it got too much, that's when we made the request for the trailers.
All right, that was when you asked for the Janazah Project asked for the fundraising, and your fundraiser on 12th of April, it raised somewhere between, I think, 200. If I'm not mistaken, it was $246,912. That's correct, right?
So I don't know the exact numbers, but I'll give you the whole story. So we have plenty of videos. Alhamdulillah, I believe I shared some with you, and we can share to the public as well. What happened the minute that brother, our funeral director, that was actually in Elmhurst Hospital, he went to go retrieve a deceased Muslim brother from Elmhurst Hospital, and Elmhurst Hospital had that deceased on the back of a trailer. The trailer was leaving the hospital. Okay. So he called me, he said, Dean, this is what's happening. I said, no, you tell them to bring the trailer right back right now. So when they brought the trailer back, we explained to them the family is on their way if you don't come back now. They brought the trailer back. We were picking up one body to save them from going to Randall's Island. So then I told him, don't let him leave yet because we have another Muslim brother in Elmhurst. Elmhurst was hit very hard, and there's many Muslims inside of Elmhurst Hospital. So we were able to take 2 Muslims outside of that trailer. Now, coming to the point, when I made that request, which was immediately on the spot, I made a request for $20,000, but I did not do a GoFundMe, neither with one person or another. I made my own request for the brothers of the Janazah Project community to contribute $20,000, alhamdulillah. The following day, I received some notifications that, mashallah, Janazah Project has raised over $100,000, almost $200,000. I said, that's not for me. So then I found out who was the one who actually made the GoFundMe campaign. And it was a very good brother of ours from the community, mashallah, tabarakallah. And he came to me after. He said, Nuruddin, he said, I'm raising money for your organization to help you during this pandemic. I said, Jazakallah
Yeah,
khair. I said, we just need.
just 1 second. I'll just interrupt you
Sure,
here. You're
sure.
saying that there was a guy named what do you call his name was?
The
What you
brother's name
said?
is Kamil. Kamil.
Uh, Kamil Ahmed, right?
Yes.
Okay, there was a guy who you don't know and you were not had any
I
prior
didn't say I don't
knowledge
know
that
him.
this guy is doing, and he
No,
was making an account on your behalf and collecting money, and you came to know that these $100,000 were gathered, or he fundraised for you. So are you
so
saying
let
that
me
this
say
guy was not
something,
even he
Nasir.
never even consulted you for that?
That's let me tell you, Nasir bhai. I didn't say I don't know
Because the
Kamil.
beneficiary,
I
but no,
told you
no,
I did
because
not
why I'm asking
know
this
that
question,
he made.
because why I'm asking
Yes.
this question, brother
Uh-huh.
Noor, is that
Yes.
on the name of the beneficiary, it's your name, by the way, as a
That's he
beneficiary.
raised the funds. So when you make a GoFundMe campaign, Nasir bhai, you start as your own person, and then when you're actually transferring the funds, then you put it.
Hmm.
So if you're asking me, Nuruddin, did Kamil explain to you that he was going to do this before you came to know that he did it? No, he did not. And to be
So he
honest
did
with you,
not.
had he asked me, I would not have told him no, Nasir bhai. Why? Because what he's trying to do is to raise money for this type of pandemic. And I'll tell you right now that the minute that I had the first 20,000 to secure 2 trailers, which we did, alhamdulillah, in the matter of about 3 days, that we secured 2 trailers, that was before any money even came from me from his campaign, because GoFundMe takes time not only to finish the campaign but to actually get the funds through. He had to send it from his name to Janaza Project name. From Janaza Project, we had to
It
request
takes
funds.
time.
That stuff
It
didn't
takes time.
it
I
didn't come
understand.
for
It takes
about two
time.
weeks, whatever it was. But
It takes
nonetheless,
time.
a lot of people, Nasir Bhai, a lot of people asking why so much money, right? But Nuruddin never asked for so much money. That's number one. And number two, if people see that there is a goal on a GoFundMe campaign or any campaign, it is their decision whether they're going to continue supporting a project that has already met its goal, or they're not going to support a cause that has met its goal. So people ask me why are people giving more? I said you should ask the donors, why are you giving more? Why are you asking me why
But can
people are
you?
giving more?
But can't you just block that? There's a lock system on the Go Fund. Whenever you raise certain amount of money, you can go up like 10% or 15%. You can give them you know a limit where you can just they can just stop receiving, or you can stop the receiving receiving the funds. And also, my second question with the same thing is, why didn't you stop, Mr. Kamil, to have this not on your personal name but on your funeral service name? I mean, you can raise as much as you want to, because individually when you are collecting money, then there are some questions asked by why this person is collecting money individually, not under his company name
So
or
again,
a
number
funeral
one,
service name.
number one, Nasser, but when it comes to your first question in regards to having a cap, again, if this is another organization, if this is a service, if this is some type of khidmah, if this was a masjid, if this was to feed the homeless or what have you, people are not going to sit there and say, hey, stop the limit, stop the goal, stop the funding. You're going to take those funds and you're going to make sure that you not only help those who are in immediate need, but you're going to also have the surplus for those who will need in the future. So why is it when it comes to janaza, those who are in need, we're saying no, no, take what you need now and then go home, versus having something surplus like every other stable organization. That's number one.
So
Number two, in regard,
oh,
yes,
okay,
tell me. In
go ahead,
regards
brother.
to the second question, in regards to why did Brother Kamil, I'm not going to sit here and speak on behalf of Brother Kamil. Why did Kamil do anything? Is because I'm sure he intended to help this cause. He did not take a penny from this. You understand? He raised, he saw the request, he made his own campaign, as many people do when they hear that there's a cause, someone ruined a Jewish cemetery, so Muslims all started to raise. How come when Muslims are raising for a Jewish cemetery, it's no problem. But when Muslims are raising for Muslim janazas, needy people who cannot handle their own burial, it becomes a problem.
Hmm. Okay, pretty interesting. I will take a break, short break right now, and when we'll come back, we'll start the program from another question, sir. Just a quick break. ویلکم بیک ٹو دا شو جی. ہم بات کر رہے تھے بریک پہ جانے سے پہلے. نور الدین ابو ابراہیم ہمارے ساتھ ہیں جنازہ پروجیکٹ سے, اور ہمیں ابھی جوائن کیا ہے معاوض صدیقی, سینئر جرنلسٹ ہیں اور سماجی کارکن بھی ہیں, اور بہت زیادہ انہوں نے کام کیا ہے. اور میرے خیال میں تو انہوں نے جو کام کیا ہے وہ شاید بہت ہی کم لوگوں نے کیا ہوگا نیو یارک کے علاقے میں. جرنلسٹک ورک بھی کیا ہے, اور جو سوشل ورک ہے وہ بھی انہوں نے جو ہے نا اس کا حق ادا کر دیا ہے. معاذ بھائی, تھینک یو سو مچ فار جوائننگ اس سر.
یو ویلکم, تھینک یو.
اچھا معاذ بھائی, یہ بتائیے کہ کیا سچویشن کیا چل رہی ہے کورونا کی اس وقت؟ آج کے دن کی کیا آپ کی آج کے دن, آج تقریباً کیا ہو گیا, آج
دیکھیں
مئی 7 ہے. مئی 7 ہے, بتائیے کچھ آن گراؤنڈ
بنیادی طور
سچویشن
پہ
کیا ہے
تو
سر؟
نیو یارک میں اگر ہم اموات کے حساب سے دیکھیں تو نسبتاً اب اموات کم ہوئی ہیں. آج کی ابھی تک میں نے فائنل ٹوٹل میں نے نہیں دیکھا اب تک. میں ہر رات جو ہے وہ اس کو دیکھتا ہوں تاکہ صبح ہمارے جب ٹی وی وغیرہ پہ رپورٹ کرنی ہوتی ہے. لیکن کم از کم دوسری طرف اگر ہم یہ دیکھیں ان جنرل کا ہم اس طرح اندازہ لگا رہے ہیں کہ میں مستقل جیسے مستقل فیونرل ہومس کے ساتھ کام کر رہا ہوں, تو ابھی جو لوگ مصروف تھے جن کے 15 جنازے روزانہ ہو رہے تھے, اب وہ جیسے آج خوشی کی خبر یہ دیکھ لیں کہ وہ آج میری بات ہوئی تو کوئی جنازہ نہیں ہوا. تو اس لحاظ سے کم از کم پاکستانی کمیونٹی سے جو روزانہ ہم اموات کی اطلاع سنتے تھے اس میں جو ہے کمی ہوئی ہے, اور اب بظاہر جو ہے لوگ بھی جو ہے فرسٹریٹ ہو رہے سڑکوں پہ نکلے ہوئے ہیں, اموات بھی نسبتاً کم ہو رہی ہے. لیکن بہرحال خطرہ بھی ٹلا نہیں ہے اور لوگوں کی بد احتیاطی بڑھتی جا رہی ہے, اور لیکن خطرہ اپنی جگہ موجود ہے. تو ابھی اسی حساب سے ہم بتا سکتے ہیں کہ نسبتاً کم ہوا معاملہ. جی
اچھا, مجھے معاذ بھائی یہ بتائیے کہ بچوں کے حوالے سے کوئی آج خبر آئی ہے کہ the kids are in trouble or something like that, کہ ان کو بھی کوئی
ایک نئی یہ چیز سامنے آئی ہے کہ 8 سال کے بچے تک کو ہوا ہے. اب دیکھیں بنیادی طور پہ بات یہ ہے کہ یہ کورونا جو ہے اس نے بہت
معاذ بھائی, میں ایک منٹ انٹرپٹ کروں گا, میں اپنے کوشچن کو ریفریش کر دیتا ہوں کہ کچھ بچے ایسے کوئی تقریباً کوئی کہہ رہے ہیں کہ 65 سے 70 کے قریب ایسے بچے ان کو یہ کورونا کا جو ہے وہ مرض لاحق ہوا جن کے پاس کوئی سمپٹم نہیں ہے. ان کا نیگیٹو رپورٹس آ رہی ہیں لیکن ان کے سمپٹمز وہی ہیں جو ایک کورونا پیشنٹ کے ہوتے ہیں, لیکن ان کا نیگیٹو آ رہا ہے. یہ ایک نئی مصیبت ہے ڈاکٹرز کے لیے. کچھ انفارمیشن ہے اس بارے میں آپ کے پاس؟
نہیں, مجھے بالکل انفارمیشن اس حوالے سے نہیں ہے, لیکن جو پہلے کی جو انفارمیشن تھی اس میں یہ تھا کہ 8 سال کے بچے کو بھی کورونا ہوا تھا, تو وہ ایک اس پہ بات چل رہی تھی, لیکن اس چیز کی مجھے بالکل بھی علم نہیں ہے. اور ظاہر بات ہے کہ اس میں جو میں نے بات کرنا چاہ رہا تھا وہ یہی تھا کہ جو کورونا کے معاملے میں ڈاکٹر پریشان ہے کہ ہر دن کوئی نئی چیز ہوتی ہے. پہلے یہ صرف یہ آیا تھا کہ 65 سال سے اوپر کے لوگوں کو یا 60 سال سے اوپر کے لوگوں کو افیکٹ کرے گی, لیکن اس کے بعد جو ہم نے دیکھا کہ نوجوان بھی گئے. ہماری کمیونٹی سے 2 نوجوان گئے ہیں, 27 سال کا ایک لڑکا, ایک 29 سال کا, سب سے پہلا واشنگٹن میں, جن کی والدہ جو ہے وہ پاکستانی فوج میں جنرل ہیں. اور وہ جو ہے وہ گئے. اس کے بعد پھر بچوں میں ایک بچے کے اس وقت تک موت کا سنا تھا, لیکن اس کے بعد 8 سال کے ایک بچے کا سنا. اس کے علاوہ جو نئی نئی بیماریاں ہیں, پہلے یہ کہا گیا کہ یہ لنگس پہ اثر کرے گا, اور لنگس کے بعد جو ہے نا پھر پتہ چلا کہ وہ بلڈ کلاٹنگ بھی کر رہا ہے. تو اس حوالے سے بہت پریشان ہے. ایک نئی سی چیز سامنے آتی ہے. جانوروں کو ہوا, چڑیا گھر کے جانور کو ہوا, اسی طریقے سے اب بچوں کا سلسلہ جو آپ بتا رہے ہیں, تو ایک نیا معاملہ لگتا ہے کہ بالکل. اور بالکل اس وقت سائنس اور سائنسدان حیران اور پریشان کھڑے ہیں. اپنی سی کوشش تو کر رہے ہیں, اپنی عقل تو لڑا رہے ہیں, لیکن ظاہر بات ہے کہ نظر ان کے سامنے میں معاملہ نہیں آ رہا. اور آپ یہ دیکھیں خود امریکہ میں کتنی کنٹرڈکشن ہے وائٹ ہاؤس میں یا ڈاکٹرز میں, اور ڈاکٹرز اور سائنسدان میں, اور پھر کئی کانسپریسی تھیوریز آ رہی ہیں. تو ایک پریشان معاملہ چل رہا ہے, ابھی تک کہیں سیٹل نہیں ہو رہا. ابھی پہلے کہا جا رہا تھا کہ 60,000 مریں گے, پھر آ گیا کہ 2 لاکھ مریں گے, پھر آیا تھا کہ کم مریں گے. اب جو معاملہ اس طرح نظر آ رہا ہے کہ جو ہے وہ ان کو خود صورتحال پتہ نہیں. اور پھر ابھی ڈاکٹر فوجی نے جو ہے وہ جون کا کہہ دیا کہ جون میں دوبارہ ہو سکتا, مطلب اس کی پیک مزید جا سکتی ہے, تو
اس کو دوبارہ بھی ری کر سکتا ہے. اچھا, ہمارے ساتھ معاذ بھائی اس وقت موجود ہیں نور الدین ابو ابراہیم, جو کہ جنازہ پروجیکٹ کے روئے رواں ہیں, وہ بھی ہمارے ساتھ موجود ہیں. ان کی طرف جاتے ہیں, ان سے بھی بات کرتے ہیں. آپ بھی ان کو سنیے, اگر آپ کے دماغ میں کوئی سوال آتے ہیں تو آپ وہ پوچھ بھی سکتے ہیں ان سے. Back to brother Nuruddin. Mr. Nuruddin, tell me, what was your experience like? I mean, we interrupted the question in between, when we were answering the question. What was the scenes like? What was you thinking, and how you cope up with the situation when this happened and the bodies were coming and you were not able to handle them? What did you do?
Nasir bhai, is that, again, imagine doing approximately 7 funerals a week. Imagine doing one a day. Okay, that by itself requires a certain system to be in place. It's not an easy thing. For a funeral home to do
True.
360 funerals a year is not a small thing. You can ask any funeral home that. But to do 350, more than 350, almost 360 in 1 month, that means that you are in for a big ride. So what happened was when we went to go pick up our first few cases, we realized that the morgues had deceased bodies on top of deceased bodies inside of their refrigeration. No shelving. No shelving. Imagine bodies on top of bodies, subhanAllah. We used to go from the morgue into the trailer, their mobile trailer. We find bodies in the trailer. So then we started to say, this is getting very crazy. This pandemic is becoming out of control. If the hospitals cannot house all of these deceased bodies, how are the funeral homes going to? So I made sure that, alhamdulillah, we were protected in terms of having additional storage. Now, alhamdulillah, we have 2 trailers. Each one has a shelving unit that houses 50 bodies for each trailer. So we can hold a capacity of 100 in the trailers, and inside the funeral home, 12. In
That's
terms
good,
of
sir. Go
yeah,
ahead,
in
sir.
terms
Go
of
ahead.
handling capacity, we had to go from our regular staff of approximately 4 individuals that are constantly on call to about 10 people that are constantly on call. This way, you have one staff that's specifically for answering calls, about 3 or 4 individuals just answering calls, emails, working with hospitals, death certificates, all of that. Then we have a whole staff of 4 different individuals that are doing just pickups from the hospital, bring to the hospital. Then we have another staff of brothers that when the deceased come in, how to prepare them, whether we're doing ghusl or we're doing tayammum, preparing the bodies, putting them inside of in the shroud, putting them in the seal, putting them in the box, getting them into the trailers, marking the trailer, marking the name of the deceased on the bag, on the box, on the trailer. Subhanallah, it's something, Nasir Bhai, that you don't understand until you're in it. If I told you that I didn't see my kids for at a time, 2 weeks at a time, almost 3 weeks at a time, because I feared either I was going to bring something home, some type of sickness, or that I feared that if I missed a beat, someone's janazah was going to be delayed unnecessarily. Someone wasn't going to get buried quick enough, and that's not only bad for the mayyit, that's not only bad for their family, but now it becomes a wave of more work that has to be done, and we couldn't have that.
So, coming back to another question, which is concerning you. You actually put that video on the YouTube as well. When you made this video, a lot of people they were objecting it, and they were asking a question about that. You actually start fear mongering among the community by that video, in which you said that, as you mentioned before. I mean, since we've been joined by our new guest, so I want to repeat this question one more time. That you said in a statement, or not in a statement, in a video, that they are putting the bodies into the mass grave, or cremations, or maybe they will burn the bodies or something like that. So what was this video all about? Why you what it was an emotion, or you were like panicked, or why did you make that
No, Nasir
YouTube
Bhai,
video?
Nasir Bhai, first of all, I didn't actually make a YouTube video. If you see a YouTube video on YouTube, it wasn't because of Noor publishing it. I mean, someone took my video and put it on YouTube. If you're asking about a regular video, I made very specific, clear notion what happened, and I had proof for what happened. The
Do
brother,
you think so? Do you think that they did
hold
it?
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. No, because you need to fix certain statements that you said that you're claiming that I said. I never said cremation. I never said burning bodies. Rather, when it comes to the mass burial, because when
Oh,
the
mass
individual
grave.
was
Okay.
doing, yeah, because when the individual
Okay.
was doing the removal, they said that they were going to be taking the bodies to. Firstly, they said Hart's Island. That's the first thing that he was told in Elmhurst Hospital by the pathologist at the loading dock where the trailer is. They told him that's where they're taking the bodies to, Hart's Island. Then I took a video of that. And the second day, where I took another video of my conversation with the admitting office in Elmhurst Hospital, saying that they were taking bodies to not Hart's Island, but Randall's Island. So Hart's Island is where Potter's Field is. That's where they do mass burials, 100 bodies, so on and so forth. That's what we were told. Then the second one is Randall's Island. That's not where they do mass burials, but that's where they have the mass holding centers. Now, What also has to be understood, Nasir Bhai, is that there's many Muslims that were inside of the medical examiner's office that have been there for some time. Unclaimed Muslim bodies, abandoned Muslim bodies, those did actually go to Hart's Island to be mass buried. And there's pictures and videos of those bodies being buried. Although prior to this pandemic, the medical examiner used to contact Janaza Project and tell us, hey, we have a Muslim, we can tell by their name, or we have a Muslim, we can tell by their paraphernalia, either hijab or Quran or Kufi or Misbaha or anything. Will you take care of them or will we take care of them? I say, of course, we're going to take care of them. But when this pandemic happened, everything just went straight there. So
No
our job was
protocol.
to make sure,
No
yeah,
protocol.
our
Right.
job was to make sure that we have space to bring everyone in. I never said anybody would be burned. I did say mass burial off of what we understood from Elmhurst Hospital. And then when they said Randall's Island, we said Randall's Island.
Okay, so
But
your point of view
I
clear.
want to ask one question.
Point well taken. Mr. Moaz, you need to add something here? Please, go ahead.
Yes. Actually, after the clarification of mayor office, you insist and you say you are believing kuffar, you are not believing me. I was in the mayor office meeting, and clearly they says there is no mass grave and there is no burning body. But because of, I love you, brother, what you're doing, and I was very big supporter of funeral services when people want to do the propaganda against the funeral services. But I was always stand with funeral services because at that time we are kind of at war. But the thing is, your emotional speech and your emotional talk gives wrong impression of New York City in the whole world. Even if from India, people they donate you because they think that the body is burning. Yeah. And also,
no one ever said burning body. Number one, mass graves that
Well, he
doesn't
already,
exist. Proof.
hold on one second. He clarified, Brother Nuruddin clarified that there was no mentioning of burning the body.
We are living in kuffar country, and we want to
No. Just hold on one second, Brother Moaz. Just hold on one second. Let me interrupt here. The thing of burning, he already cleared. Mr. Nuruddin already cleared that he never said that. That burning of the bodies, he never claimed that.
People think what the impression about mass grave. Yeah,
Are you talking about the impression people took? Or
Mass graves does exist, Bhai. That's happening. You don't see it?
Oh, now he's claiming that it is happening. Moaz bhai, what do you have to say now? There's mass graves.
And also, again, I want to
No, Moaz bhai, since you came into the discussion, Moaz bhai, hold on one second. Hold on.
And I don't
Moaz bhai, hold on one second. Let me put a question in front of you, right? Because
to Pakistani audience. But I was in the chat group, and you are insisting with the Shura, and you're blaming Shura. They are lying, and they are believing kuffar. Means like mayor office, they are not believing.
Where the kuffar?
Why you keep mentioning kuffar? Bhai? Nasir Bhai is asking you a question about mass grave. Can you address him, please?
Okay, Moaz bhai, Mr. Nuruddin already cleared that there was no mentioning of burning the bodies. He never claimed that. But he still. Listen, let me finish. Let me finish my question. Then you'll be.
About the mass burial. About the mass burial.
I'm coming to that point. Moaz bhai, hold on one second. Moaz bhai, hold on one second. I'm coming to that point. He's saying
from the mayor office, but you insist.
Moaz bhai, what he's saying, let me put the question in front of you so you can answer, and we should not interrupt each other. Let me put the question in front of you. Mr. Nuruddin is saying that the mass burial is still happening.
Either we have to sue the mayor office to lying us, because I was in the mayor meeting and they said loud and clear. They said nobody can remove the body until 1 month. This is still happening. Nobody can remove the body, and 7 days is going to be an EMI office. After 40 days, they will take to Hart Island and they will put as a amanat for 1 year.
Oh, okay. I got your point, Mr. Nuruddin.
Yeah.
Mr. Nuruddin, what he's trying to say that there are unclaimed bodies. There are a lot of people who doesn't have. So they're unclaimed bodies. Whenever somebody will come, they will take out the body, and it happened in the past, and it will happen in the future that they will claim their bodies back. So the question is not about the bodies. If you're saying that they're still burying them, with the intention that nobody will come and nobody will claim it, or this is a
No one
permanent.
said. No one
This
said.
is a
No one
permanent.
said.
Are you saying this is a permanent? It's going to be a
No one
permanent
said that. No one said that, boy. No one
burials?
said that. No, Nasir Bhai. So I've been doing this bifadlillah, by Allah's permission and His blessings, for 12 years now. I'm very well aware of Potter's Field. I'm very aware of mass burials. I'm very aware of city burials. I'm very aware of unclaimed bodies, John Does, Jane Does, people who are buried, and then individuals come and have to dig them out. But you need to put yourself in that place and not speak about this as though it's just something on a newspaper. Imagine this, Nasir Bhai. Imagine a family member who doesn't see their loved one except for once a week. Alhamdulillah, Muslim Ummah, Jama'at, we come, we see, but a lot of families living in America being sucked into the system, this lifestyle that we have, sometimes they see someone once a week or sometimes once a month, whatever it may be. So now let's say this person has no family, no contact that's answering their phone, no one has came to see them. This person now has to go to Hearts Island to be mass buried, a huge hole. They fit sometimes over 100, sometimes 200 bodies. Each one has a box. But Nasir Bhai, who said that auntie, ammi, abba, who said that they have to be on the bottom? And how are you going to get them out? You're just going to pick it up, you push a button? No, you have to dig. And guess what? COVID-19, they're going to seep through the box. Nasir Bhai, hold on.
This is a very
Bhai,
serious
imagine,
point you're raising.
Nasir Bhai,
Brother
please
Noor,
pay attention.
Brother Noor, you're raising a very serious point, and I want you to continue because I have to take a break right now, and after the break, we'll continue from here. Thank you. Just hold on one second. Are we going to the break? Yeah, we are going to the break, a short break, and we'll come back and we'll continue from here. A short break. वेलकम बैक फ्रॉम द ब्रेक जी हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं इस वक्त नूरुद्दीन अबू इब्राहिम जो कि जनाजा प्रोजेक्ट के रूरवा हैं और हमारे साथ मौवी सिद्दीकी हैं सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट हैं और हम उनसे बात कर रहे थे और क्वेश्चन बीच में रह गया था brother Nuruddin, you were saying something about these burials, mass burial, where people will not be able to get their bodies, I mean their loved ones. I mean you're raising a very serious point here.
Bhai, they can. Nasir Bhai, I didn't say they can't.
Because
they
why
can.
I'm saying that? Because why I'm saying that? Just add one more thing. Just add one more thing. You know, Islamic Shura. Yesterday, I did a program with the Amir of Masjid Shura, Islamic Masjid Shura, Metropolitan New York. His name is Hafiz Abdul, Dr. Hafiz Jamil. He said there is no truth whatsoever in these allegations or in these rumors that they are burying mass graves. And there's no truth about it. So what do you have to say?
Okay, but I have proof.
You saying that?
Yeah. Versus my word and his word. Forget about my word, Nasir Bhai. I will send you the proof. Anyone that goes right now and puts grave Hearts Island, there's updates.
Brother Nasir, you know,
yes, Muawiz, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Mr. Muawiz.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Muawiz bhai. It's yours.
No, I'm saying he's very nice brother. I know him, and also if he's doing this, you know, funeral, mashallah, last 12 years, so I am helping, you know, do the funeral because through my organization, and we did bury, you know, we did support people who, you know, unclaimed body. So I know the little procedure because they contact you. They contact basically Islamic organization if there is a Muslim name. So I don't, you know, they never bury person without, you know, searching their family first. And sometimes they contact their some embassy, or sometimes they contact an organization like me, like his organization. So no one came to out and at that time, at that moment, play the emotion of, you know, people. You know, but I know his intention was not bad, but people was getting the wrong impression. Because you know what? Why you ask only for 20,000 and people give you hundred of thousands, and even from the outside of the country. Because you know people what people are thinking. You play with the emotions to get the money, and then you have to clarify this thing. And also,
he's showing us.
Brother
Noor is showing us something.
This is a public money. And then
okay, Brother Noor is showing us something. What is this, Brother Noor? Can you explain it? I mean, forum is yours right now.
Well, Nasir Bhai, this is basically one article of many articles showing and stating. Let me get it centered here of the mass burials in Hearts Island, and this one is as recent as I'll get it back on. This one is as recent as the end of April, approximately April.
Can you push the button, please? Can you push, because it's not playing. Yeah.
No, this one is just this one is just a screenshot.
Okay. Okay.
If you want the video, inshallah, I will send you all of the dalil.
No
Nasir bhai,
problem. No
forget
problem.
about
Right
my
away.
words. Forget about my words.
Now
We have proof.
then you and us and Shura, then they have to sue the city, because I was in the mayor meeting.
Yes.
They clearly, loud and clear, they says there is no mass grave, and there
Maybe
is
they're
no
lying.
burial before 40 days.
I want to
Either
explain
they are
something,
lying,
guys.
they are kuffar, they are lying, or you are a good Muslim, you are telling the truth. So we have to find out. If they are lying to us as a Muslim
I mean,
community leader, then it's a
you're
big
right,
trouble.
absolutely, brother, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Moaz bhai, you are absolutely right, and Nuruddin has his point, and you have your own point. Brother, I'll come back to the point again. Uh, yesterday we did a program, brother Noor, and
Yes.
I was contacted by one of the family. Since you were telling me that you raised like a lot of money for the fundraising, and you did a good job, and I hope that you spend all this money to the deserving people, and I hope inshallah you will do that. But there was one family came yesterday. Came to my contact like today, not yesterday. They texted me, and today I spoke to them, and they said, and this is allegedly, this is not like what I think it's true, but they allegedly, but since this topic came in, because this was not my intention to bring this in, but they told me that you know uh, you were charging this funeral service. I mean the for the body to preserve like for a few days. I mean, what do you call that? Refrigeration of the body,
Okay.
or
There's
what do you
storage,
call that?
custodial care.
The
It's called
storage. I'm
storage.
sorry, I forgot the word. The storage of the body, and they paid you $2,100 to get their body. Is this true? It was. I have their name also. The name was Mr. Where's that? One Bangladeshi friend. His name was Harun Rashid or something like that. Harun Rashid, and they paid you on 18th of April. They paid you $2,100 to get their body. Is it true,
Does
sir?
that 21? Is that 2100 have an invoice to it, Nasir bhai? Did they show you invoice?
I have no idea. I'm just asking a question because it just randomly
Okay.
came into my mind. Did
So
you ever
respectfully, I would have to go through my system. I would have
uh-huh.
to go through all of the cases that we've been doing this past month. I will type the name. I will go through the invoices and see. But I promise you this: no one is being charged 2100 just for storage and refrigeration. That's number one. Number two,
Brother
you
Nasir,
have
I have another question.
Moaz bhai,
maybe
please,
Maybe Moses
can you let
knows
him
about
finish,
this
Can you
sir?
case.
ask him,
Maybe he
did
knows
he
about
charge
this
for
case.
the refrigerator or no?
I'm sorry.
Excuse me,
Did you were charging for to refrigerating or no? Did you charge for this?
Moses, we
He's a
charge for
journalist as well. I'm
storage.
sorry, but
We charge.
he's taking questions. I mean, I'm supposed to ask
Hold
the
on.
question, but since he's a journalist, so that's the instinct of a
Oh,
journalist. He asks the question. So please, if you don't mind, if you can ask the question, and you can deny asking any question or answering any question, sir. I mean, it's up to you, Nuruddin.
Nasir bhai, out of respect for your platform, I will answer your questions, and respect for Moses, if he wants to put me on his platform, I'll answer his questions, inshallah.
So on behalf of Muawiz, I will ask you this question: do you charge the bodies if the bodies come to your funeral home? Do you charge for keeping for the storage of the body?
Absolutely, absolutely, Nasir bhai, and I'll explain to you why. I'm
Then
not
Exactly.
charging
Okay.
them. I'm not charging them for cooling. No. What am I charging them for? Nasir bhai, have you seen the trailers? You
No,
know
I
they're
did not. But
53.
I've
Yeah,
seen like many others, but not yours.
I will share. I actually sent you a video. When you get a chance, you take a look. So
Oh
they're
yeah,
50
yeah. You
foot
sent me a video.
trailers,
I saw that. Yeah, yeah. It's a big trailer.
and from the
Yeah.
street
I got
floor
it.
from the street
yeah,
floor
sorry, go ahead,
until
please,
the
brother.
entrance of the trailer is approximately, you say, almost 5 feet or so. How does the body get inside of there, Nasir bhai, if not for four strong men to carry a body inside of a box, and to put it inside, and then to push it inside, and then to get it on the shelf, and then guess what? It has to come back out, yes? And we have to constantly shuffle through the shelves. Who came in last, first, and so on and so forth. So it's not just about cooling, it's about the staffing that we have that's there 24/7. This is what we're charging. Whenever anybody ever tells us, Nuruddin, we cannot pay for this, we tell them, don't pay for it. This is for those who can afford it. And those who cannot
So
afford it, we're not
that's why
charging
you
them.
raise the money. That's why you raise the money for this purpose. If somebody comes in and
Because
he belongs to
you
a
know,
poor
I come
family,
to know
or he
some
doesn't have that kind of money, you do it for free, right? That's what you're saying.
Absolutely, we do
All right,
completely
Mr.
free.
Muawiz. Mr. Moaz, you have
Yeah.
to say something? You have to add something?
No,
Please, go ahead.
one, I don't want to name it, but one funeral home, they are not charging for cooling anything, because they're saying, because we got this this refrigerator donation money, so why we should charge? Even they don't charge, those people even can afford. So
We're not charging for refrigeration. We're charging for storage and custodial care. If they're not charging for that, Moviz by mashallah tabarakallah, Allah He will give them jaza.
All right.
so because
Now
they,
let me wrap up here. Let me wrap up here. Let me ask. This is going to go away. These all questions. What Moaz Bhai is saying and what I'm saying. If somebody comes in tomorrow to your place, or you contact you, that you raise so and so amount. I mean, like 246,000 or 300,000 or 400,000.
Which is not true, by the way.
I don't even know how much you raise, because one of your janaza project is still accepting the donation. The janaza project. You just go on the janaza project and you just click on a donation, and then when you click the donation, it'll take you to the PayPal, and you can put some money. But my question simply, so we can move forward, is that if somebody comes tomorrow, he says that I donated like $1,000 or $100 or whatever. Are you able to give him answer where that money was spent, Mr. Nuruddin?
Of course, Nasir, we're able to show them a full spreadsheet of all of the cases that we have done. We're showing them a spreadsheet of which cemeteries that we had to pay for, the cost of the box, the individuals that were working on that particular janazah on what day, alhamdulillah. All of that is in record, alhamdulillah. And we've never said no, Nasir Bhai, not during this pandemic and not before this pandemic, and inshallah not after this pandemic. For any needy person that has came to us, we will never say no, not because of us. This is only from Rabbul Alameen.
Jazakallah. I really appreciate that. And also, since we are talking about this, how much percentage do you think that you've already spent out of this money, and do you need more money?
So respectfully, I have to actually go to accounting for that to see exactly what we have and how much has been spent. But besides the point, I will tell you this. Don't confuse what has been raised by Brother Kamil to the Janaza project and what has originally been raised by Brother Khalid Latif for the Janaza project, which has switched its course, which between them and Allah, however these funds are going, those funds never came to me anyway, as of yet. But when they do come, the portion which is supposed to come to me, which hasn't came yet, inshallah ta'ala, of course, Nasir Bhai, if tomorrow, if we have, let's say, $300,000 worth of janaza expenses to take care of our brothers and sisters, and by the way, not only Muslim brothers and sisters, astaghfirullah, Islam teaches us that a Muslim should also bury a non-Muslim. We keep talking about Moviz by mentioning kuffar, not kuffar. We are allowed to bury our non-Muslim brothers and sisters in humanity if there is no one to take care of their funeral. This is the sunnah of Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, that he had to bury his own father. The Prophet commanded him to bury him. You know how many non-Muslims we bury? Muslim families come to him, they say, my grandmother, she's not Muslim, but we have no body, we have no money. We do their janazas as well. We have families, they come to us, they say, my baby passed away, these funeral homes are charging too much money, can you help us? Just bury the baby. We do their burial for free, alhamdulillah.
Mr. Nuruddin, I was going through your Go project.
I love Brother.
I can't hear you, Nasir Bhai. I cannot hear you.
They did, also support us when we are doing, needy families, funeral or unclaimed. So he supported us. But my question is, that your donor knows that this fund also goes for the non-Muslim, because we have to explain our donors, because some people, they give money for the Muslims only, because they know the non-Muslims can get from their organization. And I respect this, and if I have a chance, I will do the same thing. Like my organization is doing like 70% of reception are non-Muslims.
He's giving you a suggestion.
For the janaza, did you inform your donors?
Excuse me, did we ask our donors if we can use these funds to help bury non-Muslim claims?
Yeah, that's what he meant.
No, and if anybody learns about this now and they'd like their money back, we'll give them their money back, Moviz Bhai.
Okay. No, because you get, my advice, this usually they give the money for their Muslim brothers and sisters. If you have any, and I love that idea. If any non-Muslim
family, especially I think we're getting off of topic, but we only do approximately a year, maybe 5 or 6. But thank you though. Thank you.
I need to get out. I need to get out of this talk of we have enough of these funds and everything. What is your plan? what is your future plan, Brother Noor? How we can streamline enough of this controversy of money raising and where it's spending? I mean, you're answerable to the God and also the system here, so that is going to be taken care of. But what about streamlining this situation, which the chaotic situation happened, and we were not able to respect our dead bodies? They were lying on the floor, they were on the top of each other, and just 2 days back there was a truck. It was Muslim or non-Muslim, I don't care. They were
He's a
humans.
non-Muslim.
They were taking out from the U-Haul truck. There were 50 bodies. I mean, what the hell is going on with the system? And are we going to streamline this issue, or we're just going to bury or throw these bodies like it's happening right now?
Nasir Bhai, firstly, let's say Alhamdulillah for Islam. Alhamdulillah for Hidayah, that we are told to bury immediately, and we are told that our janazas should be simple, to pick up quickly, to prepare quickly, to wash and shroud quickly, to pray quickly. Nasir Bhai, we are doing over 20 janazas sometimes in a day. We are doing the burials. So we have 5 fleets, 5 cars that are going, each one holding 2 bodies. Unlike other funeral homes, I don't want to speak about them, how they put 2 on top of 2 on top of 2. I'm not going to get into these Muslim funeral homes that do this, but our funeral home, we send 5 separate vehicles. They drop off 10 deceased bodies. Nasir Bhai, they come back to the funeral home for Dhuhr time. They load up another 10 bodies by, they go and they bury. So to answer your question, we can do what we can do. But as you see, this pandemic, the city cannot keep up. The hospitals cannot keep up. This is something that only with Allah's tawfiq can we do.
I think Mr. Nuruddin, I think I need to have another program with you, solo program, where we can talk about these,
Can I have a few words? Can I have a few words?
I need to wrap up the program. I'm like,
Brother Nasir, can I have a few words, inshallah?
Please go ahead.
Please, I really appreciate, and we have to appreciate our brothers who are working in Muslim funeral, because when they left their own, father, mother, and they even didn't come for the janaza. They were the one who prepared the janaza. At that time, everyone was in danger. After that, they come to know CDC, and there is no harm to do the ghusl. So I think we have to appreciate them, and our Muslim Family Services. They were a frontliner, like a doctor, like soldiers. So first, but my question is, brother, when do you still giving ghusl, or do you have doing tayammum? And when you start the tayammum, and when you start the ghusl?
Nasir Bhai, do we have time to answer these questions or no?
Just answer like one-liner. Are you doing a ghusl or tayammum? I mean, like both things are like.
It's not one line. It's a fiqh issue. It becomes an issue of fiqh.
Okay.
Difference of
I got it. Doctor.
After the CDC requirements, CDC clear guideline, and I spoke to the doctors. I spoke to
point well taken. Point well taken. He understands what you're saying, sir. I have to wrap up the program because I don't have any time. Doctor, Mr. Nuruddin, I'm sorry. Yesterday there was a doctor in my program, so I'm keep talking to you as a doctor. But thank you so very much for patiently listening to these harsh questions. Sometimes they were like, and I'm sorry that sometimes it seems like that they're like little, out of the context or whatever we were supposed to talk. But hey,
Nasir Bhai, this is the sunnah of Rasulullah.
Mawid is my brother. Mawid is my senior also, and he's a journalist. So whenever you face a journalist, the questions comes in, and you just
I had a good experience with my brother.
They're very valid.
So you never mind. And
very hard question.
I want to talk to him, but he was so busy at the time.
Thank you so very much, Nuruddin Abu Ibrahim, for answering this question such patiently. And I really appreciate you coming to my program, and I hope that I will take you another program. And Moiz bhai, thank you so very much for coming to the show. And आज का अपने प्रोग्राम देखकर नाज़रीन थोड़ा सा हमारे टाइम शॉर्ट है, तो इसलिए अब नेक्स्ट जो प्रोग्राम होगा हम इस सिलसिले में उसके बारे में आपको ये बता दें कि इसी के सिलसिले का तीसरा प्रोग्राम भी हम करेंगे इंशाल्लाह। शायद कल होगा उस पर, या परसों हम उसके बारे में प्रोग्राम रिकॉर्ड करेंगे और इस हवाले से आपको अपडेट देते रहेंगे कोविड-19 के हवाले से और तदफीन जो हो रही है और इसमें जो मसाइल आ रहे हैं उसके हवाले से। इजाज़त चाहता हूँ। खुदा हाफिज़।